This is the Best of the Week on Relevant Radio.
You know, there are many who don't understand what friendship with Jesus looks like or how we should live it out. So today on the show, we're talking about friendship with Christ. And joining us as our spiritual director today is Father Peter Armenio. Father Peter is a priest of Opus Dei and a widely sought speaker in his ministry of preaching retreats and days of recollection. Welcome back to the program, Father, and thanks for being with us.
Patrick, it's great to be back as always.
And today is July the 22nd, which means it is the feast day of a great friend of Jesus during his earthly time, his earthly incarnate time, which was Mary Magdalene. Just wondering if we can draw some insights from her friendship with Jesus that we could apply to our own lives.
God has a sense of humor. I'm still working with college-age men and women, and I really appreciate that Pope Francis made this memorial of St. Mary Magdalene a feast of the Universal Church.
Yeah,
because the Holy Spirit has good timing, because a lot of converts and reverts were in the neighborhood of Mary Magdalene before her conversion. She's a little bit of the paradigm of our modern culture, where the hedonism, the moral relativism, the family dysfunction, the ignorance of Catholic teaching or Christian teaching, their lifestyle makes your hair stand up. And I see it. I could be an atheist and still have to say the same thing, that a lot of these same kids, not enough, but a number of them, a significant number, come to the church with a vengeance, in a positive sense. Eucharistic adoration. They want a little bit of Latin inserted. They don't, not that they have the background, but they kind of piece things together. Well, Latin is, the official language of the church, so I want to hear more of that. The rosary, the ashes, all sorts of Catholic devotions and customs. What they need is to learn it, to learn the theology.
Yeah.
And what I'm seeing, you see these lines, again, I could be an atheist, but I'd have to be very honest. These lines are very, very long. I mean, the Mass of St. Josemaria, I would say 80% were young people, and we had 6 priests hearing confessions for 3 hours before Mass, during Mass, and after Mass. Why? Well, because there's this emphasis on friendship with Jesus. I mean, they're coming in cold, and they're not converting to devotions or observances. That the Eucharist and the Rosary and the time in the chapel, the confession, is a medium to connect with Jesus Christ. They have a long way to go. I'm not going to lie. And I'd say Mary Magdalene, you could identify with her. I mean, the modern generation, the modern young people could identify with her. And here you have this woman, because a lot of people have a low self-esteem when they do crazy things. That sin is a sin because it harms you. And God reveals, all right, she's an all-star now. She revealed the resurrection.
Right.
She was at the foot of the cross.
Yep.
She hung out at the grave. The apostles left. And so, and she had that special relationship with Jesus Christ. And her memorial, her witness, will go down to the end of Christianity. You have the Samaritan woman who has the record, at least in terms of numbers, of bringing people to the Lord. Even under American standards, it's a bit much. She married 5 times. Now she's cohabitating. And she repents, not because she's embarrassed, not because she heard a great lecture on theology of the body, but because she was converted to Jesus, like Mary Magdalene. Their conversion is a conversion to Jesus. And, the doctor will come after, but it's a conversion to Jesus. And what does the lady do? The Samaritan woman, she hauls in the whole town. And, I think Mary Magdalene is in that category. We were all very attracted to her because of her ardent love to the Lord. I mean, if she was an educated woman, she would write stuff that St. Teresa of Avila would write, or St. Therese.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very good. And I think that's a good thing to remember in terms of people encountering Christ. That I'm glad we use that word encounter, because you encounter another person. I mean, it's not understanding, it's an encounter. And understanding is part of that. But you're right. You're exactly right. And Mary Magdalene holds that up writ large for us, I think, that it's an
Yes.
encounter with the person of Jesus. And I think that's significant and it's important, and we can see why she's such a great model of a friend of Jesus, as well as one who introduces others to Jesus as well. Hi, this is Patrick Conley. You can join me and listen on the Relevant Radio app to The Inner Life, live each weekday at 11 a.m. Central. And thanks for listening.